Thank you very much for the introduction, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to thank you that you are all here. It's quite early in the morning, and for you and for us, I also want to make it very easy and very simple, and give you today a short introduction about a very interesting topic. So first things first, just to give you a short introduction about Munich International Mining, the company I'm with. So we do hosting services for all over for all the people. If you want to start with mining with 1 miner, with 5 miners, or if you're a professional B2B business investor and you have thousands of miners, we host them for you in different countries in the world. For example, in Ethiopia, in America, Latin America, in the US, etc. And as a founder of Munich International Mining, I wanna share something very important with you, which, in my experience, many people don't take care of, many people don't know, or many people should know. And this is the following: it's the secrets. I could call it the simplicity of the secret of ROI of Bitcoin mining. For people who don't know, ROI is like return on investment, or some people also use it in a case return of investment. So it depends if you want to know your yields or if you want to know the time of your investment when it pays back. So we call it return on investment, okay? So what do I want to tell with that? It's uncovering how smart investors still outperform public listed US miners. What does this mean? It means the following. I think and I assume that one of you, or you, have at least one of these mindsets of Bitcoin mining. The first says, Bitcoin mining is nothing for me, it's nothing for small people, it's just for the big investors. Electricity is too expensive, you cannot mine in Europe, it's hard to mine in the USA, and like in first world countries, for example, mining is dead, etc., etc. Why do I know this? Because Munich International Mining, we have plenty of customers, almost 1,000 customers, and we know we have many customers who are very happy with mining, and we also have customers who are not very happy with mining, because they also have this mindset and they have no clue about the secret return on investment of Bitcoin mining. So this is the reality. Sorry for so many numbers, but it's very important. First of all, you have the US miners. The US miner, we are talking about a cost to mine 1 Bitcoin. What does it mean? So if somebody wants to mine a Bitcoin, he creates a Bitcoin, he's producing a Bitcoin, so he needs to know all his costs to get a Bitcoin, right? So the costs are electricity, overhead, capital, infrastructure, etc., etc. And this ends up somehow at I don't know if you see the laser pointer, $80,000 to $120,000 for a Bitcoin. So, for example, US traded public miners produce a Bitcoin for about 100K, which is the current market price. So, question back to you, where do you see that it's very profitable for US companies or for big players? It is, but there's another reason that should be another presentation as well. But if we compare it to investors, like you people, you can actually create a Bitcoin for 80 to 90K. You see on the left, you see the electricity price. So the electricity price of US miners, this is just to make it for you more understandable and more clearer. Yeah. So we try to put all the costs into the electricity price so that we get a kind of cost to mine 1 Bitcoin. Yeah. So 14 cents for 100K Bitcoin. If you are mining, for example, with Munich International Mining or other miners, we also have nice and very good competitors here in the trade show, in the venue. You mine for 6 cents or lower, your cost to mine 1 Bitcoin at 6 cents is 80K. Without the return on investment secret, without a strategy. With a strategy, your Bitcoin is 30 to 40K. So as you see, to know how to mine properly with the right strategy, with a very simple one, you can actually almost double your yields. Financial disclaimer. So to connect to the return on investment phrase, we have here an example of the return on investment in month. So public miners, for example, have a return. They get the investment back after 25 to 32 months. Some more, some less. Just want to give you a picture in the range. Okay, if you invest in Ethiopia, for example, or in Paraguay, or where you can get mining for 6 cents, tossing for 6 cents, you end up like in 15 or 18 months. And I know many people would say that's not true. That's not possible, because if I go to like a mining calculator or something, I see the profit, and the profit shows me a different number. And this is what we're going to check now. I hope you can see it. This is a very simple mining calculator. You put in the hash power of a miner, the power consumption, and the cost for hosting. This is S21 Plus miner with 234 terahash. And you see, I have something written here. I marked here something red. This is the number. These are the numbers for one miner. Let's go to the next one. This is the number. These are the numbers for 10 miners. So what does it say? I told you that you kind of have a cost to mine 1 Bitcoin of like 30 or 40K. So what does it mean here? We have, with 10 miners, you have 20 miners, with 20 miners, you have 4,600 terahash. It's put here. I really want you to understand and see that. So here, the first one, we put the hash rate for 20 miners, the power consumption for 20 miners, and 6 cents. And this, in the red marker, it says power costs for 1 year is $36,000. So you spend $36,000 in power costs for 1 year, and you get back 0.95 Bitcoins. Be careful with these numbers, because difficulty changes, price changes of BTC, and transaction fees changes, etc., etc. So this is just a number of right now in this moment or some days ago. So the cost to mine 1 Bitcoin, or 0.95, is 36,000K. On the right, you see the profit. The profit says 63,000K. You say, nice, profit 63,000K. That's nice, but if you do not, or if you let your Bitcoin pay for the electricity, you end up with the profit, which is 63. But 63K is way lower than 1 Bitcoin for 36K. Does it make sense? The production costs of 1 Bitcoin here is 36K. So to give you something you can rely on and you can go with are the 3 golden rules, the secret strategy to mine Bitcoin profitably. First of all, never sell your Bitcoin to mine. So if you want to start with mining, and if you have like a strategy for yourself for mining, don't sell your Bitcoins, because you might have the case that you will maybe, in terms of fiat, you will have more profit, but in terms of Bitcoin, you maybe do not mine as many Bitcoins as you have sold before to get these miners. So never sell your Bitcoin. It's number one mistake of investors, because they say, oh, I have 1 Bitcoin. With the miners, I can get 2 Bitcoins. So this is a no-brainer. If you want to use your Bitcoins because you don't have any liquidity, loan against it. Big players do this, small players do this. So you can loan against your Bitcoin with Signum Bank, for example, Firefish. It's also here, I think. So they're a pretty good provider for this. But don't sell your Bitcoin, okay? Because you need to pay the electricity in fiat, in euro or dollars. Because if you don't do this, you get the profit out of Bitcoin mining, and the profit will be, or let's put it that way, if you buy the electricity with US dollars, you keep 100% of your Bitcoins, and the Bitcoins increase in value. This is our bet. If you do not pay your electricity with fiat and you pay it with Bitcoins, you get out fewer Bitcoins. Of course, it's profitable, but fewer Bitcoins is, of course, worse than to keep 100% of the Bitcoins. So actually, practically, you exchange your fiat to Bitcoin, but more cheaper. That's mining. Second rule, stay active during bear market. I think everybody of you even had like some investments or did some investments and stuff, and everybody knows there are times of bear markets, 2, 3, or 4 years, even though, where everybody is like down and said, I cannot invest anymore, that's not for me, you're kind of depressive and stuff. So you need to stay active, because in a bear market, you have 3 chances. First, difficulty goes down, could go down, wasn't in the last 2 years, by the way. Second, transaction fees. Transaction fees in a bear market could also be a chance, as we have seen in the past. And third, you can lower your average acquisition cost for miners. So miners are cheap. Miners are cheap. So you don't sell your Bitcoin, you buy miners in a bear market, you always pay your electricity with US dollars or euros, and you keep your fleet up to date. So in a bear market, you can change miners, because miners are just like 1K, 2K. In a bull market, it's even higher, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last but not least, the last one, never pay more than 6 cents. I know some of you might look for hosting in the US because of security and stuff, but this is also my personal opinion. Never pay more than 6 cents, because you never know what Bitcoin is going to do. You never know if Bitcoin takes a deep breath and goes to 30. I hope so, to get more. But never pay more than 6 cents. Try to find some hosting providers to give you like 5 point something. Then you have a really interesting cost to mine 1 Bitcoin. So I hope to give you some advice on how I would do Bitcoin mining, and how you get definitely a better experience and a better results in your profits. And to say thank you, scan this code, you get hash rate for free. And thank you for your attention.
Secure your BTC Prague 2026 ticket at the lowest possible price now.